Welcome back to Niagara Hall. The Eagles winners here tonight by a pretty hefty margin, a 79-54 ball game. Coach, got to feel good to be on the winning end of one of these.
Yeah, you almost forget what that feels like, It was a while. But we came out and we did some good things offensively, got the ball inside early, and Zach and F.A. did a good job finishing. And then we did a much better job guarding them than obviously we did the first game, and I think we have been doing lately. So, that I think got us going some too. And then, they like us, they're banged up with some injuries, the key guys. But I thought our guys fought, and we did a good job defensively to build some momentum throughout the game.
I was going to say, you and Kirby are the only two that can really relate to the other as far as injuries are concerned and playing man down.
Yeah, we obviously Malik Jones is a big-time player for them, and Sammy Thomas, just like Jesse Case and some of our younger guys, being hurt. So, like we've talked about many times, you got to know there's no asterisk, so you just got to go and play and try to do the best you can. And at least I think we got better tonight. We played better. We did some good things, and that's really what you're looking for, this time of the year.
One of the huge differences, obviously, on the backboards, a plus 16 there, and offensive rebounds, 11 of them tonight for your guys, which led to some second chance points, and you didn't have one of those possessions that got away from you.
Yeah, exactly. F.A. did like I said, I told him walking up here, he's capable of that all the time, and he hasn't shown it all the time, and that's, typical, sophomore, freshman, that inconsistency. But when he's playing like that with that energy, that kind of explosiveness, getting rebounds and finishing around the basket, we're just so much better as a team. And so hopefully he can keep building on that. And so I was really pleased with his effort tonight. And, we just all around, pretty much everyone that went in there did some good things. And we had some timely, like you said, put back second chance baskets when we needed one. And we strung together enough stops that we kind of kept ourselves a little cushion throughout the game.
At halftime, I'm looking at the numbers. They're 0 for 13 from beyond the arc. And the thing I'm thinking is strictly statistically, it can't go that way in the second half is what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. No matter what you do, they're not going to shoot that poorly again. And they almost did. Now, of course, they only took 6. They were much more judicious in the second half.
Well, I think that's a big part of our game plan against. They average over 30 a game, and so the best way to defend about that is not to let them take them. And so the first half, I think we did a good job of contesting a lot of them. They still took a good amount, but then the second half, I think we did a really good job of keeping them in front and really closing out hard so that they didn't get those clean looks, because they're such a dangerous team. All their guys shoot the ball so well. Clower, he's a 60% shooter. We only let him take 1, and Latimer, same thing, only let him take 2. So I think that was the key, is getting out on those guys where they didn't get that comfort level where they could just step into rhythm threes, and I think that's what you saw in those results tonight.
But it was a little bit of a double-edged sword, because then they drove the lane, and I'm looking at the fouls and I'm looking at the clock, and I don't know if you were on the page I'm on, but I'm thinking this clock's going awful slow. The fouls are piling up.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we got to do a little bit better job of not fouling in certain situations. It's been a while since I was in school, but 3's worth more than 2 in my head. So that's the approach, at least, is to not let them get going. And you're never going to be perfect, and we obviously got some things to clean up on. But I think negating their advantage on the perimeter in terms of shooting allowed us to kind of grind it out. We didn't want to get to a track meet, a Grinnell, score 120 game, like they average 84 game or 83 game. So to keep them that low below their average, I think was a really good job a really good effort by our guys.
Big key, I thought, in this game, you're up by 14 at the break. You come out and start the second half on a 10-0 run.
That was huge.
And, there was no glimmer of hope to start that second half.
Yep. That was key, absolutely. Because if they come and they get back to the single digits, you're probably in a dogfight the rest of the way. And we did, again, a good job of not letting them get layups and kind of doing a good job down there, and that led it to some baskets down on this end. And so I think that was as good as a start as you could probably script for us, in the second half.
Thought you guys did a pretty good job moving the basketball this evening as well, creating some nice open looks. There were a couple down on the blocks that just really finished off some important possessions.
Yeah, absolutely. We shared the ball. I think we did a good job of handling their full court pressure. We kind of got a little loose with it and we got over in the half court, but we didn't we didn't have too many of those live ball turnovers that lead to, layups for them on the other. We had a couple, but that they really feed off that. And so we did a good job getting it over half court and kind of playing the game more at our pace than the pace that they would like to play at.
I could sense in the second half that they had dialed it up on defense. And I thought, obviously, any team that's struggling to find itself on the offense, that's usually the best way to spark that.
Exactly, yeah.
But you guys really didn't wilt. And that was another situation where there was never a momentum opportunity. There was one situation where they took a timeout, and I think the lead had been cut down to like 18 or 19, which I know seems strange, but if there had ever been a time where they felt maybe some sort of here's our chance to get back in the game, but quickly squelched.
Yeah, we had a couple of timely, I think, we had, like Dave Rand had a rebound layup, a big one, and we got a couple stops in a row. But you say that, you're right, 18-19 with a team as explosive as them can be 7 or 8 in a very short period of time, and we've had games like that. The Shenandoah game last month, we were up 13, and then seemed like 2 minutes later, we were down 4 or 5. So, those leads can change really fast, and I was cognizant of that same thing, that same situation. So I took a timeout. I think it was like 17 or 16, and we never let it get below that 15, 16. I think that was huge in the second half.
Right. It never slipped even down back to what you had at intermission.
Correct, right.
Which I thought was, you're looking at that sort of thing, and I don't know, I'm a guy that's looking at the clock and looking at time
me too.
and thinking that sort of thing. But as you point out, shot clock, in a way, is meaningless to them. They're not looking at it the way that most teams look at a shot clock. Hey, we've got 30 seconds to operate. They're looking more of, all right, we've got 10 seconds to chuck it up.
Yeah, Khalil Davis is a handful, and he did a great job of really, I think, getting them going in the second half in terms of moving and attacking and trying to set up guys. And we have to do a little bit better job of containing those type of players in the open court. But, we did a good enough job of, I think, like you said, controlling the pace. And our defense led to that, too, because they like to score fast. And so by us in early in the shot clock, doing a good job of getting set and not letting them score a ton in transition, and then not allowing them those driving kicks that they're so good at, allowed us to take more clock and kind of get them a little bit out of the rhythm that they're used to playing at.
A lot of pleasant surprises in the game to me, and at halftime you're looking at up by 14, and Bryce only had 2 points. And I'm thinking, wow, here's an opportunity. He probably wind up getting his at some point, and he does wind up getting 13. Kevin doesn't have the shooting night that you come to expect from him. So on a night where some of your main cogs aren't exactly hitting on all cylinders, you still get 4 guys in double figures, and really the defensive part of things helps you pull out a win.
Yeah, the defense was key. Yeah, but we did have guys step up, and I think, too, the biggest one, Keontae Dennis, and he's been a little up and down, but, his senior year's winding down, and I'm really proud of how he came ready to play today. 4 for 5, 2 for 2 from 3. Both were huge threes, and he really guarded well, and he rebounded. So really, really happy with him tonight. And Davion Greer, like we talked about, he had some big rebounds and some big finishes, throughout the course of the game. So
yeah, Keontae's basketball mortality is beginning to stare him in the face,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. So when you're a senior, it's obviously we've struggled here, but everyone, that's the great thing about our league. Everyone's 0-0 in another week and a half, and you just gotta be playing your best basketball so you give yourself a chance to keep playing some more throughout the tournament.
Let me ask you, and I've been thinking about this question no matter how this game turned out. I grew up in Baltimore, and when the Colts come to town, it seems to me the players on the Ravens don't care. It's just another game on their schedule. And to the fans, though, they want blood. They literally want blood. For the team, is it just this is another game, or is the Mennonite game a little different?
I think for us, we approach it like every other game. It's obviously it's really nice for the community to have 2 schools so close by, and you can have that kind of for the fans, that kind of rivalry. But for us, we have 11 rivals, and so every night we're playing one of them, and we're trying to come out on top. And but obviously they're a program that's had a ton of success, and that's the bar. That kind of consistent success is what we're striving for, and we're young and we're banged up, but this was a good step forward. So fortunately we got to finish with 3 of the top 4 teams in the league, but those will be really good tests to see where we're at, and we're going to have probably an away game, a week from Monday, and we got to just be ready to give it our best shot and try to get to Salem.
Coach, congratulations.
Thanks so
appreciate
much,
the time.
I appreciate it, Carl. Thank you.
Head coach Sean Postiglione. Your final once again, Bridgewater 79 and Eastern Mennonite 54. This is Bridgewater College basketball.